Welcome to Gen X Unfiltered, where three Gen Xers dig through the emotional junk drawer of life
and turn it into an unhinged group chat about everything from pop culture and personal growth to the stuff we never really unpacked.
If you've ever been told to toughen up but not cry during commercials, you're our people.
Welcome back to Gen X Unfiltered, the podcast.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody, welcome back.
Steve, Eric, how are you guys doing?
Doing awesome, thank you.
Do you want to know what we're talking about today?
I do.
You guys really know, but it's, we have to keep up the
Let's
bit.
pretend we don't know.
I mean, these papers actually do mean something.
But today we're counting down the top 10 Gen X TV moms, from loving homemakers to working moms to the ones who could roast you in under 5 seconds.
They packed lunches, threw shade, and dropped wisdom bombs before we even knew what therapy was.
So pull up your TV tray, heat up some SpaghettiOs, and let's talk about the queens of primetime parenting.
That's right. The moms are where it's at. We all love the dads. If you guys listen to our podcast last week, if not, go check it out. It's all about the top TV dads in honor of last week being Father's Day.
That's right, Father's Day.
Yeah.
We were a little slow on the mom one for Mother's Day, but it's okay. We love you guys anyway.
Absolutely. This is more of a, when we did the dads, like, hey, we should do the moms too.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a light bulb. It was like, hey, whoa, we can do this for other characters and
That's
TV
right,
shows.
yeah.
Sometimes the hamster is asleep in the wheel. It's not
And I
turning.
think, all of us grew up close to a TV, in front of a TV, spending weekends, Friday nights in front of the TV. So
It's
lots
true.
of primetime moms helped raise us.
So just like our best TV dads, we're doing it in a top 10 countdown. 10 obviously being not the worst, but you know what I mean. Number one being the
Number one being the
primo
gold standard of
mom.
Top
TV
tier,
moms. Yeah.
top tier mom.
Now, because there is so many TV moms out there, it's impossible to get a total list of everything. So the good old internet helped us come up with sort of the 80s and 90s, maybe 70s, top 10 moms.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
We're not doing all of them. We're just doing the top 10. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready. Who's number 10?
Oh, good question, Eric.
Yeah, let's start there.
All right, number 10, Harriet Winslow, Family Matters. She's no nonsense and all heart.
I feel like we should clap like that was like, and the winner is Harriet Winslow,
Yeah.
Family Matters.
She's not the winner. She's number 10.
No, I know.
But she made the list.
The
so
way
that
you
right
announced
there.
it, I felt very like Academy Awards like introduction.
Well, I think they all deserve the Academy Award introduction.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're moms. Moms are the heart and the brain of the family.
Absolutely.
Huh.
And she made the top 10 list. That's like I said, I don't know how many TV moms have graced the
But
boob tube.
But I'm pretty sure if you guys check out our earlier podcast, like I said, I'm pretty sure Carl Winslow was in like the top. Was he number one?
No.
But he was like in the top 3, I
he
think.
was
He
in
was
the
up
top 10
there,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So Harriet Winslow, she worked full time and still had time to parent Eddie, Laura, and survive Urkel. What about Judy?
I was going to say, they don't mention the mysterious third child who disappeared.
The girl that went upstairs.
Yeah, but I would say she was a good mom. She had like the tough, like, I'll kick your ass if you deserve it, but also like the love when needed.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was.
I think so. I think she kind of like was the glue that held the family together.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 100%. She was definitely she was dealing with a lot of out influences there with
She had a lot going
Carl
on.
and Laura and it's Steve Urkel next
Steve
door
Urkel.
just showing up all the time.
That
Yeah.
kid alone, that's a lot to handle, right? Like, Jesus Christ.
And
How'd
then
you, like,
her kid that disappeared.
That's right. But then they had the aunt, her sister, I guess. The sister wasn't the grandmother lived there
the
too?
grandmother
didn't
lived
she?
there.
At
There was
one
a
point.
sister and her kid.
Yeah, no, that was a full house.
So here's a quote. She could discipline with the look and hug you 30 seconds later. Absolutely. And if everybody out there know, and when I say mom, it could be anybody who's that mom figure in your life, but you know that quote unquote mom look.
Oh, yeah,
Oof.
where you're like, oh, that was it.
I took a step too far.
That,
Exactly.
that was just, and they don't even have to say anything. It's like the look.
Yeah, you just knew. You're like, oh, I screwed up.
Yeah. Here comes certain bombs.
You kind of do the whole like try not to make eye contact. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
stop.
We have a friend who has, I would probably say, one of the best mom looks out there. It
Yeah.
makes me like, oh no, what did I do?
You kids are in big trouble.
it's like,
I'm
oh.
glad I'm not you right now.
Yeah, you can just tell. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's effective, I'll tell you that much. So
She does it well. Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like Harriet Winslow definitely has that look. It's
Yeah.
like the little side eye. Like I feel like she had her hands on her hips. and
Yeah.
just-
Yeah. No, she was a good one.
She
No, that
was
was a
good.
great show.
All right, do you want to know who number 9 is?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
All right, number 9 is Maggie Seaver, Growing Pains, the career mom before it was cool. She was a journalist, mom of 4, and married to a therapist.
That's right. I forgot she was the Maggie. she didn't go by Maggie Seaver though. Remember that? Wasn't it Maggie Malone? Was that her name?
I think
Oh
that was her
yeah, that was her
TV
TV
name.
name.
TV
Yeah.
But if you think about it, and yes, I know there are other examples, but generally speaking, a lot of the mom roles in like the 80s and even in the 90s, the mom was just a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah,
Sorta.
or even if they weren't, like some of them had jobs, but like they were like, maybe part-time jobs or something,
Yeah.
not like a, like a professional
She was like a
career woman.
badass news reporter.
Yeah.
She was, yeah. She was kind of like the woman who could do no wrong. She could do everything, right? Have a career, keep the house together,
Have
right.
a baby.
have a baby.
I forgot about that's right. Yeah.
Adopt Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, she brought in the.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah, a little young Luke. I don't know what his last name was on the show, but it was Luke,
remember.
right?
I
Yeah,
forget.
Luke.
Yeah.
And then deal with the crazy antics of Kirk Cameron.
That's right.
What
Him
was
and
his name on the show? Mike.
Mike Seaver
Yeah.
and his buddy
Boner.
Boners to
Richard Boners to
Richard
Bone.
Boners to
Yeah.
Bone. Yeah,
I mean, Maggie Seaver, honestly, for me, wouldn't be like one that stands out as being like, as I watch, being like,
Yeah.
oh man, she's just,
honestly, when I hear that name, my gut feels like she's a little vanilla. She's like the safe bet.
she is.
Yeah.
But that's why
There's
she's
nothing makes
number,
her stand out.
like, I feel like Harriet Winslow should be higher on that list than Maggie Seaver.
I think so. Just for the Urkel
Yeah.
factor. Anybody
Yeah.
who put up with Steve Urkel gets like bonus points.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like Harriet Winslow just had a lot of people in and out of her house all the
yeah.
time.
That was a.
Yeah.
That was a full house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zing.
All right, do you guys want to know number 8?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry, I won't ask that question for everyone. Just
What if we said no?
you should see what happens.
Show's over.
You say no, you're gonna get the mom look.
That's right. Yeah.
Or it's not the mom look, it's the Kelly look. I can't do it on command. It has to be a
Yes.
feeling.
That was almost like a wink or something. I'm not sure what that was. That was,
to be
that was not very
appealing.
intimidating.
no, that didn't seem to. That was yeah.
Just wait. All right, number 8 is Claire Huxtable, The Cosby Show. The elegant enforcer, smart, stylish, and not here for your nonsense.
Eric's crush.
Oh yeah,
too.
she made my
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. So you can go back and
Yeah.
listen to that, or are we
she
talking
made
about?
my childhood crush list.
That's right. Or Gen X crushes.
Because
Yeah.
according to Eric, she had a really good side eye.
She had a good side of like you were in trouble with Claire, you knew it.
I still think Eric had some sort of weird disciplinary
Eric wanted to
issues
be
as
in the
a kid.
doghouse with Claire. Yeah.
I've been bad.
Yell at me,
No.
Oh
mommy.
boy, this is really
Oh,
weird.
stop. I'm not going to lie, though. I feel like, I don't remember the rest of the list. I've read through it, but I don't remember. But I feel like Claire Huxtable belongs higher on that list, though. Because she was a career woman. She was a lawyer.
That's right. She was a lawyer. Yeah.
Married to a doctor who was like, she had to keep him under control because
Yeah,
he was a
yeah.
little cray-cray.
Yeah.
Had 5 kids, and each 5 kids went through like crazy stuff. Like there was, Theo, who was sort of like the
Wasn't
you know.
dyslexic or
I
something
think
like
so.
that? Yeah.
But then the one daughter like married the
Alvin.
Yeah, but then the
Alvin
one
and his
Yeah.
like simpleton antics.
there was just a lot going on. So I mean, she kept it pretty together. Although, yeah, I mean, I feel like she should be higher on that list.
She did, and she always be time for fun too. Remember, like they would do like their song and dance on the stairs and stuff. Like,
Oh,
the
those
whole,
like every
Oh, yeah.
season.
Yeah.
For the grandparents.
yeah.
That's right.
For
Yeah.
like anniversaries.
And no, never mind. It was he had the office in the basement or
He had
something.
the
didn't
office
he?
in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do we remember what kind of lawyer she was?
Oh, jeez.
Or was she just like a general lawyer? Like
I don't know if they
gen-
ever said. If they did, I don't remember.
Yeah, I was like, they could have specified it.
like I feel like she was just like a general attorney. Like she wasn't like a criminal one. She kind of just
I
probably
don't
dealt with contracts and
I think
stuff.
they really.
I don't think they really went that deep into it.
No, I
on the
think that
show.
might have been-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
These nicknames are interesting though. These taglines. She's the elegant enforcer. That's
That's a good name. I like that because she always was well dressed because she
Yeah.
was a lawyer, right? So
Well, even on like when it was the weekend on the show, she was very rarely, if ever, in
She was-
like jeans
Yeah.
and t-shirt.
always very well put together.
She was wearing like
Yeah.
dress pants with pleats and like
Yeah.
flat dress shoes and like blouses.
no, I can just see their living room in my head with the stairs in the back and stuff like that.
yeah,
It was a good show.
that was a good show.
Now, yeah, I've everything that's gone on with Cosby. It's
Well,
It's
that's
soured the whole thing.
unfortunate.
it kind of
did.
has,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, number 7. Angela Bauer, who's the boss in more ways than one, successful ad exec and single mom raising Jonathan with Tony's help. I'm going to say that, we didn't really need to add in with Tony's help because I think she was doing a pretty kick-ass job on her own.
Yeah.
Tony was just an extra added.
He was the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she was doing pretty good on her
I mean,
own.
he did some of the cleanest of that, but I think she probably helped him more than
With
he helped
Samantha,
her.
yeah.
Or
That's
just
true.
in terms of like,
Yeah.
getting them into like a nice neighborhood,
Yeah.
and a nice place to live, and like, I think they benefit more from that deal than
But
Than
she,
Angela.
they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was definitely I just literally forgot who we were talking about. Did you just see the light
I
drain
just
from
saw
your
it.
Angela
eye?
Bauer,
yeah.
who's the boss?
Literally, I was just like, who are we talking about? But I mean, again, she had her own executive ad agency.
Yeah.
Well, not even at the beginning she didn't, but then she opened her own.
That's right. She did. Right.
I still think the dumbest thing they ever did on that show was have Angela and Tony hook up, but we're not here to discuss the show.
That was the whole tension of the whole
Yeah.
show.
It was, but like when they got together, there was no chemistry.
They fell flat after that. They didn't know where to go with it.
Like
Well,
there
that's
was
kinda like-
chemistry.
Because when you build up to something,
Yeah.
and then it happens, you have to have something after
Well, because it's like,
to kind of build that tension
or
again.
then, or just like around the show, right?
Or
It's
the
like,
show, yeah.
That could have been the
Well,
Yeah.
series finale would be.
if I
And
rem-
then there's like a happily ever after.
Yeah.
if I remember though, it was like the last season that they got together, wasn't it?
I think so.
Because they got together and then they broke up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think
Jesus,
it's
I don't
because
remember that.
Yeah.
I think it's because the chemistry just sucked. Like their build-up chemistry was good because you're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, they're gonna hook up. Like it's gonna.
Yeah.
But then when they actually did it, was like, hey, brother and sister, what's up? Like it was weird.
He went for the wrong one. He should have went with Mona.
Mona was a badass. I loved Mona.
She was hilarious. Yeah.
She was awesome because Angela was kind of like straight.
Well, she was straight
laced,
laced,
and,
where Mona was like the
She
was a
like the partay.
She was a
Yeah.
freak in the sheets.
There's a really common theme here, though. It's like the career mom is sort of like,
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that we were talking about that, but like all of these have been.
yeah,
you know.
these women, like powerhouse women balancing careers and
Yeah.
the home life.
Yeah. All right, number 6.
Yep.
Kitty Foreman, that 70s show, the sweetheart with a wicked laugh. Gen X grew up watching reruns of her, mother of sarcasm and casseroles. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a huge watcher of that 70s show. I've seen it, so I obviously know who she is and the character.
Yeah.
But she seemed kind of just like, I don't know, ditzy. I don't know if that
Well,
was what
I
she
think
was
she
supposed
put on that she would laugh away the, like her husband was the
awkwardness?
tight ass, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, what was his name? Red.
Yeah.
Red, yeah.
He would say, he was offensive and, would say things that were wildly inappropriate. She would kind of laugh it off and,
Yeah, exactly.
that
But
was
was
her
she-
like go-to, like,
Instead of speaking up, she would just nervously laugh it
Yeah.
off.
But
yeah.
was she like, when push came to shove, was she like an advice giver or like I don't know.
honest, again, I didn't watch this. I watched it, but not like religiously. So,
Because I hated Ashton Kutcher, so I couldn't stand watching it. I did not
Well,
like
I guess
him.
that wasn't your show because
yeah, because he was kind of the,
He
yeah.
was-
he's
he
one
was
of
so
the
annoying.
main people there.
No, because it was more the father, I think, would be the one kind of,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
life advice kind of son of dumbass.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, exactly.
stuff
Keep
like
it
that,
hard on
whereas-
Eric
yeah.
Foreman the whole time.
So I don't know if I agree with her being on this list versus like there's a million others that could be.
To be honest, yeah, I'm surprised to see her on here
I'm
because
not a big fan of this one.
No, again, sort of I don't know, a mother. I think they're trying to make her be more of a mother of like the 70s, like kind of like that Carol Brady type,
yeah,
where she didn't, everything she tried to keep everything the rainbows and sunshine,
yeah,
and when
Yeah.
it wasn't, she would just laugh it off.
I guess she was, maybe she made the list because she was kind of a mom to all those kids, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Because they all kind of came from
She
different
took
dysfunction.
in all the neighborhood kids, I guess.
And
Yeah.
because you had the hard ass father who was
Yeah.
pretty hard on the son, so she was kind of the the caring mother, protecting her kid, and
I just feel like there could be other better examples.
given all the shows,
Yeah.
yeah.
She definitely shouldn't rank above the other ones we've had so far. I think
No.
she should have came in 10, I think.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
feel really bad for Harriet Winslow. Like I feel like she got a bad rap. I
Yeah.
think she should be above Maggie Seaver. I don't know. Cuz Maggie Seaver, like other than Kirk Cameron, like I feel like from what I remember watching the show, she didn't have a lot of like chaos with her kids. Like obviously there was issues, but like Harriet
Yeah.
Winslow, I felt like every day in their house was just like chaos.
It
that she had
seemed
to
like
manage.
yeah.
You know, whereas like the Seavers was kind of like
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember. Like that's like I remember watching Growing Pains. I'm trying to remember some of the specific episodes, but
Yeah, I mean, I
can't
could-
think of a lot of it. Yeah,
all right, are you ready for the top 5?
But let's bust into the top 5 here. This is like the hardcore, like the best of the best.
yeah.
We'll
We're getting into
see.
the thick of it here.
All right, number 5. Elise Keaton, Family Ties, hippie heart, modern mom, liberal former flower child raising, Reagan loving Alex P. Keaton. Ooh, that was a mouthful.
That was a mouthful, yeah. But that was exactly. They were like they were the flower children.
they were
now,
like the
raising kids.
protesters in the 60s,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
their son was about as a Republican as you could get.
That's true.
He was a young Republican, loved
yeah.
Reagan.
Yeah,
What were their jobs? What did she do? Was she like an artist or something? I can't remember.
oh jeez, I don't.
A
I don't know.
writer?
I think she was a writer. I think he worked for a newspaper.
It was something
yeah,
like
I
that,
can't
wasn't
remember.
it?
Yeah, doing that doesn't make you feel doesn't make you smarter.
I'm trying to see if it works.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's been. That's the show I watched it, but I couldn't tell you what they did.
I just see the clip over and over again of Tom Hanks flipping out
Oh,
and
yeah,
pushing
pushing it.
Alex through the coffee table.
Yeah.
But you know,
What the hell are you doing?
I'm gonna say
I
something.
don't know.
I'm
the one.
gonna say something really quick about that show. That show had one of the episodes that, like, I feel like at the time it traumatized me, and it was really sad. And I still remember that episode was when the dad had a heart attack. Do you
I
remember
remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was so scary and sad.
Yeah.
serious moment.
It was.
Yeah.
And then when Jennifer was all like, remember she went through that phase where she's like the cool kid and had the big party, and she kept saying like.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like, oh my god! And then the boyfriend Nick.
Yeah. What
Hey.
Hey.
Is that what
Oh
he
yeah,
said?
that guy.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
E-
Oh, and then of course they brought in the
they
kid.
added another
Oh, that's
kid.
right. They
yeah.
had
Is it
forgot
Andrew or Andy?
Andy, right?
And he was like a mini Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex in one episode trained Andy to say Alex is king.
Yeah.
Was it their kid?
Yeah, they
They
had
had a baby.
yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if they had a baby or if they were adopted or something
no,
like
it was
that.
like
or...
the theme that every like late 30s mom had a baby on a sitcom. I watched Family Matters, Family Ties, but like I didn't like I watched it like way back when. Like I haven't seen that show.
Well,
in
we were pretty young when that
forever.
was on.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
that was like early
80s.
80s, not early
like
80s, but like
mid-80s.
mid 80s. So we weren't
Yeah.
that old.
I think the main point of the show, or her purpose, was really to kind of reel Alex in,
Yeah.
because he'd be sort of hardcore Republican and kind of like lose his humanity,
Yeah.
and she kind of trying to bring that back to
Yeah,
him.
be
Like, hey,
you know, it's not all about money and business, and that seemed to be all he cared
exactly.
about.
People are important too.
I
Yeah.
remember her being like a loving kind of mom, but like that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I'm just not 100% sold on her being on this list.
No, that was. I mean,
she
I would
was
love to go
good.
back and watch some of those old episodes. Like,
Yeah.
it's
See if
like,
they hold up.
I just see that clip of Tom Hanks drunk,
Yeah,
drunk uncle.
his drunk uncle. Oh,
All
boy.
right, are you ready for number 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Roseanne Connor. Roseanne, raw, real, and relatable. Not always perfect, but never fake. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said in the Top Dads one with Dan Connor, I will forever stand that show because I feel it was like the quote unquote realist sitcom there was for the time.
Absolutely, yeah. In terms of like realistic shows, yeah, I think it really it was relatable to
The
most
average family.
You can relate to the struggles they were going through and stuff. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely came off as an authentic couple.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was, she would do anything for her kids, but she had a
Yeah.
rough exterior, but I think she had to. And
Oh, yeah.
she was funny. Like the
Yeah.
show was funny.
Oh, the show was hilarious. Yeah, it was great. I loved
Yeah.
Roseanne.
And very unlike Kitty, like if something bothered Roseanne, you would hear about it. Like she would
Yeah.
not like hold back or like do an awkward little laugh. And
Oh yeah,
stay
no, she
silent.
would.
Yeah.
She would
Yeah.
call her kids out. She'd call her husband out. She would call her bosses out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
yeah,
that was
she
that
would speak her
whole
mind and.
in the first season because anybody who's watched Roseanne knows that throughout the whole entire series, she had a whole bunch of different, like basically minimum wage jobs.
Yeah.
And in the first season, they worked in the plastics factory, and like she's the one that led the charge to stand up to their boss.
That's
and, like,
right. Yeah.
The asshole boss who just wanted them to like work like dogs.
Yeah.
And then she worked in a fast food restaurant and stood up to the 17-year-old manager that was trying to
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then she worked at the hair salon where all the rich people would come in and treat her like garbage because she swept the floor. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just really related to that show.
That was good. And then at the end, it came full circle, right? She ended up opening up her own diner, right?
Yep.
The Langford Lunchbox.
And she dealt with a lot of shit with her kids. So
Well, and that was what's
again, but
good
like
about it.
real.
No, and the kids were like they were real kids. They had, like the one girl had the boyfriend they hated and ended up getting married, and the middle daughter had her her little sort
Depressive.
of the goth grunge era
Well,
and
she
whatever.
was like depressed.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and
I don't
DJ
know.
was just weird.
I don't remember, or I don't know who's number one without looking ahead, but I would always, like I said for Dan, he should be number one on that list. I would say I'm glad she's in the top 5, but she should be number 1 to me.
Yeah, Roseanne was. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was criminally underrated, but I think it's forgotten sometimes. But it was
is.
really, really good.
It was really good.
And like just her acting, like she was great in the show and the role and stuff like that. And it was, she was super relatable.
Yeah. Did you watch the show?
I did. I watched Roseanne not religiously, but I watched it.
Yeah, it was good. All right, we're in the top 3 now. We're in the the juice.
No, I know we're almost done.
In the juice.
We're flying through this.
So who's
list.
the first one in the juice?
All right,
Juice tier.
Jill Taylor, Home Improvement, the smart one in the chaos, ran the household while Tim blew things up.
That's fair.
That's fair. However, she definitely falls into the category that we were talking about before, like the Everybody Loves Raymond category, where I feel like there was that era of sitcoms where the dads were just made to be really stupid and the moms were like, and that borderline on that where it was kind of annoying.
Well, it was not like, it was funny, but it wasn't like realistic. It was like almost like a cartoonish.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
with the stuff that Tim Allen was doing, and like
Tim, what did you do now?
And like I get it, dads do goofy things because I think that they can do it all.
Yeah.
But like just I mean, I still say to like Everybody Loves Raymond was the worst example for that. Like I mean, they made his character be so stupid, and
helpless.
she was
really helpless,
and she was so like came across as like the drill sergeant where she shouldn't have been because she was just trying to like get him to be an adult.
My husband to help me around the house. Dear God, heaven forbid he should help.
So definitely Jill Taylor was kind of like that. I do remember her being like teaching life lessons to the kids and stuff. I feel like I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen that show.
Yeah, that's a show that I watched it when it was on, but I haven't seen it in years. But I remember. Yeah, I mean, I think it was the biggest thing. Yeah, like she was basically almost like a single parent raising 4 kids, right?
Three. She didn't have a surprise baby.
No. But I was insinuating that the fourth kid was Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Good point.
Like she basically had a family of 4 children she was trying to raise.
Yeah.
Really, and that's so that I can see where that comes from because. Tim was not like he wasn't a bad guy by any means on that show.
No,
like he was a just like caring father and stuff, but just did really stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, he just because he knew that he had a wife or the mother of his kids that was gonna pick up all the slack and do everything. So
exactly, yeah. And his way to help her would be like, I'm gonna supercharge the dishwasher for you, or make the washing machine go 10 times faster, and then it would obviously go sideways, and she would get pissed, and everyone would learn a valuable lesson.
All right, before we get to the top 2, we're gonna take a very quick break. Not for you guys, but for us, so we can reload the camera.
All right. Would we ready?
We need to put you film in the camera.
Right? That's what it sounds like. We just have to hit record, stop and record again, but we'll be right back.
There's a half-hour window that our camera stops recording that. So.
Okay, be right back. And just like that, we are back.
Amazing.
The magic of editing.
Right?
It's like we never left at all.
All right, we are in the top 2. This one is a little, okay, this kind of came out of left field, but we'll see what you guys think. Number 2 is Rebecca Kostopoulos, Aunt Becky from Full House. The cool aunt turned mom goals. Handled twins, Jesse, and a full-time TV career without breaking a sweat.
That doesn't seem right at all to me.
I mean, I think maybe we're thinking of it because, like, she wasn't cast in the show as a mom, right? Like, she became a mom later.
Yeah.
When at first in the show, like, so maybe it's just hard to wrap our heads around. I mean, I guess she would fill the role because she was kind of like a mom to like
I was going to say that
other kids too.
No, but I was going to say that too. She kind of filled in as like a pseudo mom for
her nieces or whatever.
Like Danny Tanner's kids, and then obviously got married and had her own kids.
Yeah. And also to keep Uncle Jesse in line.
That's right.
Yeah.
The rocker, she supported him when he's going through his rock and Jesse and the Rippers.
Yeah, exactly.
And side note, this was also one of Steve's lists.
That's right. I'm not saying she wasn't easy on the eyes, but I don't know if she would have been number. I don't think on this list I wouldn't have put her on this list at all. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
think of her as an aunt first, not a mom first.
But maybe that's why we have to like pull back and be like, okay, her and her mom role, like, yeah, she was a good mom to the twins, but I think she was in a mom role before that.
No, she was, but in terms of not this, but the turmoil or the antics she had to go through and deal with as a mom or even as an aunt, doesn't seem like it would put her on this list at all.
Especially on number, she's number 2?
Well, especially number 2, yeah.
Here's a quote. Aunt Becky walked so millennial moms could run on coffee. So what are they trying to say? I don't understand what that means. These
I
quotes
don't know.
are weird.
Well, because she's working full-time and stuff like that, I guess, and had kids a bit later in life, I guess. I don't know.
Were her kids, were they like surrogate? No.
No. She was probably only 32. Like, what are you guys talking about?
No. I didn't say old, but I'm saying like she wasn't 22 having kids.
I gotta be honest. I tuned out before the twins showed up on Full House.
I mean, I'm guessing she was like early 30s when the.
Oh, probably. I just don't think, again, in terms of talking about TV moms and stuff like that, like, I just don't see it at all. Like, she had 2 kids, but they were just kind of there. Like, there was no real stories about them and the kids having any troubles, really. Like,
yeah, I think
it just seems crazy. I'm thinking she must have bribed someone like she did with her kids to get through college and got on this list of number 2 somehow.
But okay. That was really
good zinger right there.
I get the joke
the
now.
college, it's the scandal.
That was a terrible one, apparently.
I was just
No,
thinking,
I got
no.
zing.
No. You know where my brain was? Trying to figure out how Lori Loughlin somehow made this list. That's where I was thinking. I was like,
No.
She
what?
probably somehow did like keyword stuffing
Yeah.
on something. There's a
Exactly.
best mom on TV, best mom on TV,
This
best
doesn't
Gen X TV
feel
mom.
right.
Is she
There's
has-
no way she should be on this list at all.
No,
Wow.
no.
And that's not saying she was good on the show and whatever, but in terms of the top 10
No.
TV moms, I'm sorry, but Becky Katsopoulos.
Yeah, no. I mean, Becky
This list is
Katsopoulos.
sus.
But
This is a suspect list.
Becky Katsopoulos is not better than Roseanne.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think, in terms of being a quote unquote TV mom,
yeah.
I would not even, honestly, I wouldn't even think of her. I don't think as being,
No.
That's exactly
You
my
know,
point. I don't
as a
think of her
character,
as a mom character.
not for,
first.
yeah.
All right, let's get to number one.
All right, the big number one, the big
I'm
reveal.
ready for the big kahuna.
I think this is just phoned in, but whatever.
Okay.
Okay, number one, Carol Brady, the Brady Bunch, the matriarch,
Boo!
the matriarch of all TV moms, blended family icon with zero wrinkles and infinite patience. I can tell you 100%, I have never watched an episode of the Brady Bunch.
Really? Never?
Obviously, I know what it's about. I've seen clips of it, but I've never watched.
Never
an
watched as a
episode.
kid watching reruns. And
I haven't
stuff,
watched
yeah.
the Brady Bunches. Yeah, the reruns and stuff.
Was she
Yeah.
like?
And the whole show is just like aw shucks moments.
Yeah.
It was
But
like
it was
sorry.
It was from like the 60s or 70s.
70s. I think it started like early 70s.
I think so.
But
yeah.
was she actually like? I don't know. Like, does that description fit her?
I guess.
The
I mean-
matriarch, or
well,
like,
I mean, she was also kind of one of the, not the first, but like, you know,
I guess the blended
you know, there was
family.
a huge show too, and different story with the two, you know,
Yeah.
blended families and stuff like that.
you can't even talk.
But I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't have put her on this list. I mean, and in all fairness, it's because I've never watched the episode, so I couldn't tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I mean, she was a good TV mom, I think, but her and her husband were like,
Too perfect.
they were like perfect. Like
Yeah.
they never, you know.
No.
Like they said, what's smiled through the absolute chaos and looked good doing it. Like her hair was always perfectly coiffed and like always looked like
Yeah.
dressed super nice and stuff.
Did she work?
Never got angry. Like never got really
No,
angry.
that's when they
That's
get like a
bullshit.
little stern talking
Yeah,
to
a little
maybe and stuff like that.
That's
but
what I mean. It was like, oh shucks. It was like, oh shucks, Greg, you know better than that.
Yeah.
And that was
No.
the sternest she would get.
Let's
Yeah.
be real. Like, moms get angry, so that right there, that you're off list number. You're off.
That's
number
why
one.
I booed as soon as I saw Carol Brady.
But
I'm like, no.
did she work? Not that it matters. I'm just curious.
I don't
she did.
think so.
What did he do?
He
worked.
He was an architect, I
Yeah.
think, wasn't he, or something like that?
He
Oh, okay.
architected their home.
They had that weird house, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's kind of weak. Now,
And the Brady Bunch as a whole, like it's just too sickeningly sweet. That's why
Yeah.
like the movie in the '90s worked well because it was a parody of the show, right?
Yeah, they kind of made fun of it, how it was so over the top, like, oh, geez, shucks. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of
exactly.
like Leave It to Beaver. Like,
yeah.
now maybe this list is made with the intention of like, in the perfect scenario, perfect family type, these are the top moms.
Well, I mean, if you're going to
I
be in
don't
a
know.
family, you want, you know, if you have a mom that's always smiling, happy, always having fresh cook. Although she also had
Should have housekeeper.
housekeeper
Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's that too that
Now,
sort
no,
of helps a lot. Having
look,
someone else to help cook all the meals and
she's
stuff. and-
either going out the back door when those kids are asleep, drinking, wine and smoking cigarettes, or she's the person that's gonna like get out of her car in the middle of the freeway and like lose her mind.
Oh, let's
Like,
be
Yeah.
real. She's getting tied up in the bedroom when the lights get turned off.
hey, why do you have to go so weird?
I don't know.
It's so creepy. But I'm just saying, nobody can be
Sorry.
that calm.
No,
exactly.
yeah.
They're so like sickeningly sweet. There has to be some darkness going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
No, there definitely was. At least in the real life, I'm sure. But yeah,
You gotta have the spice to go with the sweet.
that's
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. Some of these honorable mentions 100% deserve to be on this list more than other people.
All right. Yes, honorable mentions.
So
Nice.
we have Peggy Bundy, married with children, not your average mom, but iconic AF. I mean, I think she was just a very heightened, obviously exaggerated character of what the image that TV show family was trying to portray. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it like stereotypically. Like, I get that, like, he was a shoes. The whole vibe of it was supposed to be like they were kind of like trailer trashy.
Well,
She was
not
just-
even that, but they're also like stuck in their high school days, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he would always
true.
talk about his polk high football, 4
Yeah.
touchdowns in a game. She's still dressed like she probably did back in like
True.
grade 10 with
Yeah.
the hair and the pants and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
they're kind of like stuck in that, like,
yeah.
they were parents and raising kids, but they were still kind of,
She was very
they peaked in
stereotypical.
high school.
Yeah, she's very typical like very stereotypical, unhappy, kind of like lazy housewife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eating
yeah.
the bonbons because she'd be eating the
She'd
bonbons.
be eating the bonbons,
TV.
watching TV, watching her soaps. Didn't really want to do anything around the house.
Yeah, criticizing her husband for
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and he would get mad at her.
So she was a very extreme stereotype example.
And but I guess like in a way, like kind of like the Roseanne, but in a more exaggerated version, it was like probably one of the more realistic sitcoms. It was obviously heightened with like exaggerations, but like I don't know.
But you could
it's
relate
weird.
to them because they lived in like a normal house. They had
Yeah.
normal, he had a normal job. It wasn't anything, they weren't like TV producers or like
No.
news anchors or whatever. Yeah, they were just like kind of average people.
She was entertaining though. She was a funny character.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was great. I love Married with Children.
Yeah.
This one's interesting, but okay. Dorothy Zbornak, Golden Girls, technically Sophia's daughter, but peak Gen X sass. I mean, she was sassy. Give me some Dorothy any
She
day.
ruled the roost in the Golden
She
Girls
did.
house.
Oh
And
yeah,
she
she
had
was great.
kids.
B. Arthur.
Yeah.
She did have kids, but
She
yeah.
did. I forgot.
Yeah, well, obviously their kids were
Yeah.
like our age.
They
Well,
came
maybe
by
not.
to visit and stuff, right?
Yeah, but no, I mean, okay, Dorothy has probably the most iconic side eye mom face,
Or she
like
was. Yeah.
just that look, that like, oof.
Well, she just
Yeah.
had like that sarcasm and just cut people down. It was
Dry.
just funny as hell too. Like
Yeah.
the stuff she would say and
Very good at like looking disappointed.
yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like just no time for bullshit.
Oh no, but
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time she would like, whenever Blanche would say something, she would just have an insult to go right to it and stuff like that. Or,
Yeah.
or she was
Rose is just like something stupid, and she'd be
Yeah.
like, "What?" Like,
yeah. And then you meet her mom, Sophia, and you're like, oh, that's where she gets it
Yeah,
from.
Yep.
but then the relationship between Dorothy and Sophia was a very loving relationship.
Well, and the relationship between all four of them,
Yeah.
they all cared about each other and stuff like that. Living in, what are they, in, like Palm Springs or Palm Beach or somewhere in Florida, it looked like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Florida for
Yeah.
sure. All right. This one should have 100% been on the list over a lot of those people. Namely, who was the one that we said? Oh, the Foreman lady. She
Kitty
shouldn't have been on
Foreman?
the-
Kitty Foreman, yeah.
Vivian Banks, Aunt Viv, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, smart, stylish, and unforgettable. Both versions.
That's right. They changed her out after season 2 or something like that.
She
Yeah.
was good. Both of them were good. I like the first Vivian actress.
Same. I
Yeah.
like the original one better.
Yeah.
But the second one, she had a little bit of sass to her.
I think she had a bit of a softer image.
Yeah,
She did.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little,
She did.
definitely
Seemed
sort
more,
of played
seemed
two
a
different
little more
ways.
soft, a little more nurturing, I think,
Yeah,
than the first mom.
But think about all that she had to do. I mean, okay, she's a stay-at-home mom. They're obviously very wealthy. The
Yeah.
husband's, a wealthy black family. The husband's a successful lawyer. They have Jeffrey. I wanted Jeffrey in my life.
he was good.
was awesome.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
was great.
They have like the nephew who was like the troubled nephew
Well,
coming in.
they take him into their home to
Yeah.
help keep him safe.
They have
and
Ashley. They have the oldest ditzy daughter who's all about
Hillary,
the money.
yeah.
Then they have Carlton, who was just
who was kind of like almost like an Alex P. Keaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
yeah.
Right-wing obsessed.
Right wing. Yeah.
So I mean, Vivian had a lot going on.
Oh yeah,
And then she had Jazz, the friend.
That's
Oh, God. Yeah, throw him out of the house.
Yeah.
Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot going on. I think Vivian Banks should be on that list over Kitty Foreman.
She was definitely a stronger mother figure, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think of her and I'm like, she had a pretty good, the original mom had a pretty good,
Yeah.
mom look.
No, they were good. Yeah. So I'm surprised that they're just not mentioned in the top 10 for sure.
And this one, I'm actually surprised now that I see it. I feel like this should be in the top 10 just based on sort of the scenario about like how she is a mom. But Murphy Brown, a working single mom who redefined the role.
Yeah, I forgot that Murphy
love
Brown
that
had
show.
a kid later on in the show, right?
And she was a single mom, right? I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly, did she intentionally get pregnant, or was it a oopsie?
Was it with the painter?
I don't think it was with the painter.
Remember
I don't
the
think
painter
they ever
guy,
hooked
Alvin
up.
or whatever his name was?
Yeah, I don't think they ever hooked
I can't
up.
remember now.
But I mean, it was iconic for that time. I mean, she had the baby and she was literally a single mom being a news anchor.
No, and she was like a big time news anchor,
Yeah,
a
like
famous,
national news.
yeah. That was I forgot. Murphy Brown was a great
It
show.
was good. I remember Miles.
Yeah, he was like the producer. What it was, the executive producer, or something like that. Yeah.
That was a good show. And then they had
There was the blonde girl who was was she the weather, or she was another like news anchor or something like that too, right? And there was the older guy.
there was Frank or something.
Frank, I was gonna say, yeah, he was like I don't know, he's a weather guy or something, but the gray hair guy, yeah. There was the
Yeah.
guy that was kind of going bald too.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people,
Yeah.
but it was a good show, and I think she definitely in the mom role. I mean, yeah, she was. I mean, again, she was a character that was in a position where she could afford to have care and like help and nannies and stuff, but she just did it all alone. She did it with no man.
No, that's good. I honestly don't even know if I would have thought about Murphy
No, I
Brown, to
wouldn't
be
have
honest.
either.
I forgot the show, but I kind of forgot that she had a kid in it and stuff like that. So I don't even know if I
Well,
would have thought of
because
her
I
as a TV
think
mom.
I don't remember exactly, but I think obviously her becoming a mom was like later in the show, from what I remember.
Pretty sure it was,
So
yeah.
she wasn't like these TV moms that were like moms from the start.
Yeah,
of the
that's what I'm
show.
saying. I don't even know if I would have thought
Yeah.
about Murphy Brown as to put on this list.
I never watched Murphy Brown, but I remember it being a big storyline that she was choosing to be a single mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, like good
For
for her.
the time, yeah.
Yeah.
You go, Murphy.
No, good for her. Yeah, that was a great one. Candace Bergen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's good. I know.
Yeah, I remember that show being hilarious,
I
but
used to watch that show all the time.
kind of forgot about it.
And the whole joke with that show was every episode it was a new secretary. She couldn't keep her secretaries.
That's right.
That
yeah,
was the
that's
whole
funny.
like bit. Okay, but like whether it's on this list or not, who would be your favorite TV mom?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, on this list, I would say Roseanne, but probably in general, maybe Marge Simpson.
Oh, dude.
I gotta say, I watched The Simpsons from
Yeah.
start to.
It's a cartoon. It's not a real mom.
I was shocked Marge Simpson is not on this list.
Why?
She-
But was she actually? Well, she had to deal with a lot of bullshit.
She
She
dealt with a
dealt
lot
with
of
a
stuff.
lot. Yeah. Homer? Bart?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She thinks potatoes are neat.
Pretentious little Lisa?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about you?
I would say Marge Simpson.
Not Claire Huxtable?
Oh, well, Claire, she's a different category altogether for me. Different podcast. Go listen to that one.
I'm definitely gonna say Roseanne.
Okay, as I say, you, Roseanne, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Roseanne, 100%. Just
Definitely, she was the most relatable to sort of my
all the other ones.
experience growing up.
All the other ones, from my opinion, had whether it was a lot or a little bit, but there was that fluff that just made it fake. Whereas Roseanne just felt
Authentic.
authentic.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
As I said, it definitely was the show was funny as hell, but also super relatable and like real. They did a good job of both.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't super over the top. Where it's like, like,
No, the
like
episode-
even now, like the Married with Children, like that, where it's like, you know,
Yeah.
kind of more over the top stuff, like Anthrax come to your house and having
Well,
like a
yeah, I
concert or
mean,
whatever.
that's the
like,
thing. It's just like exaggerated. Where it's
Yeah,
like, okay.
whereas Roseanne was all based in reality, which is probably why it's so funny.
And
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
You
Like,
can relate to it.
people like losing their jobs,
Yeah.
struggles like putting food on the table, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
And
and
then
somehow they made
even-
it hilarious.
Yeah.
And then even when they did that whole season where they won the lottery, where everybody's like,
Oh,
it
that's right. I remember that.
Where
the
they're
very
like, oh, it jumped the shark, but it didn't, because in the finale it tied it all up and they
Yeah,
never
yeah,
actually won
yeah.
the lottery.
No,
Was
I
it
know.
Dream? Was it? No,
No,
she was
she
writing
wrote
a
a
book.
book.
She was
Yeah,
writing a
that's it.
book, yeah.
So, I
Spoiler
mean-
alert, you haven't seen it. Sorry.
No, but I'm just
Sorry.
saying, like, you know, even then, because I remember it was like, oh, great, this like poor family wins the lottery,
yeah,
like whatever.
no, I know. It's kind of like,
But it was all
of
just,
course they did.
it was all just part of her, you know, like when you write a book, it's your own story, right?
Yeah.
So-
Or more, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
know.
good. I remember that. I really liked the ending of that too.
I actually just saw a clip of this on TikTok. I know I'm talking about Roseanne really quickly, but
That's
the
right.
whole where in the later seasons after they won the lottery, Dan had an affair or was going to have an affair.
Yeah, with his mother's
And-
nurse or something.
Yeah, and so the whole thing was because everybody was always like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they made the Dan character have an affair." Like that would be like, you know, Matthew Perry on Friends cheating on
Yeah.
Monica. Like it just like the audience
Sort
would
of
not like
yeah.
out
it.
of character, yeah.
But apparently, like, and again, I didn't put two and two together, but in the finale, when she's like talking about her book and like kind of the closing monologue, she says that she never could accept, because in the real life, not the book she was writing, Dan died when he had his heart attack,
Mm.
but she kept him alive. But in real life, this is so confusing. In real life, the TV real life,
Yeah.
she was so devastated that she couldn't accept that he had died. So she wrote that he had an affair so she could be like mad at him. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's weird. All
Yeah,
these little
it's,
things.
yeah, no.
But
it
it's just a great show.
Deep dive.
Yeah, it was really, really well
Oh my
done.
God, we need to do a whole podcast on Roseanne. Damn.
We should. Got to do some watching. Lots of episodes to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, I can burn through them. They're only 25 minutes. We're good.
There you go.
Easy.
All right, guys, but comment below or beside wherever it is and let us know your favorite TV mom. Did they even make this list? What do you think of our list?
Yeah, let us know, guys. Let us know in the comments
know.
below.
Thank you.
We would love to hear from you because I'm sure there's a million that we were missing.
Oh, there's a ton of TV moms we missed, yes.
Yes, but thanks so much for hanging out with us today on Gen X Unfiltered, where nostalgia is real and so are the therapy bills from growing up watching too much TV.
Like, share, and tell your Gen X besties this is one for all the moms who didn't just make us dinner, they made us.
And next week, we're diving into TV siblings we loved, and some we wanted to throw off the balcony.
Until then, call your mom or at least text her a heart emoji.
See you in the next one, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye.